Mark Strand was an American poet born in 1934. He died in 2014. He's famous because he was a MacArthur Genius, which means a foundation, a company, set aside $100,000 for him for a year for 6 years to just let him do whatever he wanted. He also won the Pulitzer Prize for the best book of poetry in America in 1999 with Blizzard of One. And he was a poet laureate of the United States, which just kind of means he was helping Congress in the Library of Congress, trying to make poetry something that teachers and students had access to all around the country. Two of his famous books, The Blizzard of One, as I mentioned, published in 1999, won the Pulitzer Prize. His first book came out in 1964. It was called Sleeping with One Eye Open. In terms of how we know Mark Strand was well received, besides those great prizes, you can also look at the fact that before his death, Publishers Weekly said Mark Strand continued to be one of our most deeply enjoyable poets. If you read his poems, you'll see that he is funny or dark or worth reading. So here is the poem, Man and Camel. On the eve of my 40th birthday, I sat on the porch having a smoke when out of the blue a man and a camel happened by. Neither uttered a sound at first, but as they drifted up the street and out of town, the two of them began to sing. Yet what they sang is still a mystery to me. The words were indistinct and the tune too ornamental to recall. Into the desert they went, and as they went their voices rose as one above the sifting sound of wind-blown sand. The wonder of their singing, its elusive blend of man and camel, seemed an ideal image for all uncommon couples. Was this the night that I had waited for so long? I wanted to believe it was, but just as they were vanishing, the man and camel ceased to sing and galloped back to town. They stood before my porch, staring up at me with beady eyes, and said, "You ruined it. You ruined it forever." So it's a poem I've always liked. I think it's a little bit silly, but also kind of serious. It's a funny poem. I just kind of enjoy it, so I thought I would do my project on it. My purpose for the poem is that Mark Strand wrote Man and Camel about seeing a singing duo wander past his porch to show how unique experiences can easily become meaningless. The unique experience of having a man and a camel walk by your house singing, he tries to put meaning into it, and when he tries to put meaning into it, tries to understand it, they come back and they tell him, "No, you're doing it wrong." So I've focused on the phrase, "You ruined it forever." Remember, the last line of the poem is a great place to look for the purpose of the poem. The narrator asks the question about 5 lines up. Was this the night that I had waited for so long? He sounds like a guy who just needs something important to happen to him. And the camel and the man come back and say, "No, that's not what this is." Since people often seek meaning in their experiences, Strand's poem reminds us that sometimes enjoyment is not bound to other values. And that's Man and Camel. I hope you liked it. So, my bibliography, the 2 places that I got information on Mark Strand for this show include poetryfoundation.org. You can see that I accessed that on the 20th of April. And then I've marked the URL, poetryfoundation.org, copied that straight off onto Google Slides. I had to change the formatting, right? It wasn't Times New Roman. When I typed this, guys, also, it wanted to turn this into a URL, like hyperlink it. I had to shut that off. And also, look at this line setup. The line wanted to make it a whole new line at the bottom, and so I had to change the shape of this first entry to make it where the top is against the left margin here, and the next line down right there, is tabbed in one. That's something that you can work on today. You should be able to put your slideshow together today if you haven't already. Take your time, do a good job on the presentations. Last tip, I recommend that you email a recording of each slide separately and then paste them together with iMovies or whatever technique you guys know. You may know more than I do. I'm happy to help you walk through that if you would like. Please email me if you have any questions. And if you want a bonus email for watching this video, all you have to do is email me and tell me that you could record 3 separate slides as 3 different movies to make sure you don't make mistakes. Anything to that effect will get you bonus points on today's watching assignment. Hope you guys are doing well. Can't wait to see these presentations from you. Have a great day.